Now talking about the sales force management. Most companies they have a sales network and therefore they rely on a substantial number of people who are involved in the sales activities, who play a critical role in the profitability of the enterprise and in the implementation of the relational marketing strategies. So the term sales force it is generally taken to mean the whole set of people and the roles that are involved with different tasks and responsibilities in the sales process. Selling the product is for any organization. Though we are producing more and more products, we are delivering more and more products, but what is the most important thing? That these products should be sold off in the market. So, this sales force team, what will it ensure? It will ensure that the products they are getting sold off in the market at optimal price and at the correct timing. So these are the people who are involved with the selling process and they are also involved into various relationship management strategies. A sales force it is a group of professionals who work together to sell a company's product. Sales force roles they may cover areas like the inside sales, outside sales, sales support, business development, customer service, and account management. So, when we talk about the sales force, there are different roles that these people are going to actually play. They are going to first of all focus on the sale of the product, whether it is inside or outside. They're working on the functioning of sales support. They're working on creating various business development plans so that the sale of the companies increases more. They are also working on providing the customer with the service. That means when they are selling their product, providing the service related to that. They make sure that the service related to the products they are being provided to the customer. And account management means different accounts are being handled or being given to different people who are into the sales department and they have to manage their own accounts and make sure that the customers who are involved in those accounts they should retain with the company. So managing a company's sales force it is important because it may help improve the efficiency and success of the sales team. So that is what is the force management. Salesforce they are going to be the people who are working on providing or selling the products into the market. And how to manage this Salesforce is again more important. Salesforce management, first of all, when we are managing this Salesforce, first of all, the thing that we need to do is to allot them with their role and to make them clear with their objective. That means whenever there are certain people who are involved in selling of the product. So the first thing that you need to do is to allot the role to different persons. That means if a company is having different accounts at different places, a role should be made clear to them. Their objectives, that what is going to be their target for on the monthly basis or on the fortnightly basis, it should be made clear to the people who are involved in the process. Then we have to create a Salesforce designs. Salesforce design means we have to create a correct organization structure. We have to do the correct sizing of our Salesforce team. That means we have to make sure that the people who are involved in maintaining those accounts they should be properly sized. They should not be more and more people involved where the requirement is not there. They should not be less people that they are not able to fulfill the services that are needed to be provided or not able to reach to the customer correctly. So we do need to do the correct sizing. We need to create the correct organization structure. That is a process involved in the Salesforce design. Third thing that we need to do for the Salesforce management is the activity planning. we need to do the resource allocation of the product, we need to do the planning of the visits. So we have to plan all the activities that are being involved in this process of sales properly. That would require the allocation, resource allocation of the product. Where should the resources be allocated? How should the visits be planned? So activity planning, it is another important part of this sales force management. And finally, the most important thing is assessment and control. That is, evaluate their processes. Though you have assigned certain roles, you have created the proper organization structure, you have allocated few resources, and you have planned the visits. But what is more important now, to assess these things, that whether they are moving into the right direction. You need to allot a person who can actually control these activities, who can manage, who can see, or who can evaluate these processes they are going as per the requirement. So that is all that we need to do for the Salesforce management. Now, talking about another topic here, that is the logistic and the production model. What is logistic first of all? Logistic, it refers to the overall process of managing how the resources are acquired, stored and transported to their final destination. That means the logistic means whatever the resources that the company is selling off, or the inventory that the company is selling us, how these resources, how this inventory will be acquired, how are we going to acquire these resources, where are we going to store these resources so that they can be delivered at right time to right people, and how will the transportation of these resources to the final destination will take place. So that is all logistic, the overall process of managing how the resources are acquired, stored and transported to the final destination. Logistic management, it involves identifying the prospective distributors and suppliers and determining their effectiveness and accessibility. Suppose there's a big organization, it is producing various products. So it has to hire certain distributor. Suppose this particular organization, it is working into various cities. So if a plant it of the for the production of the resources of the inventory, it is in one city. So it is not possible to deliver the products from that place to various parts of the country. What we need to do, we need to hire certain distributors, we need to have some suppliers who will supply our products to the customer. So we need to hire for the logistic management prospective distributors and suppliers, and we have to determine their effectiveness and accessibility to the resources. In simple terms, the goal of logistic management, it is to have the right amount of resource or input at right time, getting it to the appropriate location in proper condition, and delivering it to the correct internal or the external and customer. So that is the main goal of logistic management. We should have the right amount of resource at right time, getting it to the appropriate location. They should not be in any way damaged, hampered. They should remain in proper condition, and delivering it to the correct internal or the external customer. So that is the whole process that is required in this process of logistic management. The production model, it presents a set of resources which are used to describe a product as a collection of components and the processes applied to these components. So the resource hierarchy, it provides a modular and the layered approach to specify a variable family of products and their production. So that is what is this logistic management. Whatever the resources are getting produced by the companies, how are these resources going to reach to the customer in a proper way, in such a way that these products they are not damaged. So for this we need to hire certain distributors, certain suppliers who will perform this function of sending these products to the correct customer at correct time. So this whole process of management of this thing, this is called logistic management. Now talking about the production model. The production model, it describes the activities such as the processes, the recipe for making things, and the information flow. So this model, production model, it determines how and when the entities that are described in other models, how are they going to be used. So the production model, it is also used to describe the products that can be produced as well as the resources like whatever equipments we have, whatever material we have, what all production steps should be followed, and the processes that are required to produce them. So these all things, they are involved in our production model. The production model, it is made up of some of the elements. What are these elements? Static data model. First of all, the static data model, it describes the resources, processes like the process segment, the definition segment, and the data classes. So that will all be described into the static data model. All the resources, all the processes, whether they are the process segment, the definition segment, or the data classes, they will be the part of the static data model. Then the data used to associate the resources and the processes with an output product, as it can be created with the work definition. So this, the second element of it model would be the data. Third would be the runtime data that describe the work in process, that including the work request. So that is going to be the third element, that is called the runtime data. So when we talk about the production model, it will describe all the activities. It will determine how and when the entities which are described in other models, they are actually going to be used. It is also used to describe how the products can be produced as well as the resources. It will also describe the production steps and what are the processes that are required to produce them. Elements, the main elements of our production model is, first of all, the static data model. Second is the data which is associated with the resources and the processes. And the third is going to be the runtime data which we are currently working on. So that data which we are presently using all at all the time, since we have so much of data stored into the databases, at all the time we are not using all the resources. So runtime data is the data that we are currently utilizing, that will describe the work in process including the work request. Now talking about supply chain optimization. Supply chain optimization, it is the adjustment of the supply chain operation to ensure that it is at its peak of efficiency. Such optimization, it is based on certain key performances indicators that include the overall operating expenses and returns on the company's inventory. So basically when we are talking about supply chain optimization, that means we are optimizing the process of supplying our products. We are going to do this in the most efficient way. So the aim here is to provide the customer with the products at the lowest total cost possible while retaining the highest profit margin. That means the company, it should attain the highest profit margin, and the customer, they should attain the products at the lowest total cost possible. So that is the advantage, that is a win-win situation for both the company as well as the customer. So to achieve these goals, managers, they have to balance the cost incurred in the manufacturing, incurred in the inventory management, for the transportation and the fulfillment of customer expectations. If definitely our manufacturing process, it is in an efficient way, we are manufacturing our products in a well defined way, so what will happen, that will reduce our manufacturing cost. We are not bearing any additional charges for it. We are managing our inventory in a proper way. We are transporting our products from one place to another in a well defined format. So if we are doing all these things, so definitely the cost for the products, it is going to be the optimal cost. So what benefit it will provide us? It will retain the highest profit margins for the company, and it will help the products reach to the customer at the lowest price possible. So supply chain optimization, it makes the best use of technology and the resources like the blockchain, the AI and IoT to improve the efficiency and the performance in the supply network. So today, since we have so many facilities, we have the artificial intelligence, we have the blockchain, we have the internet of things. So we may utilize these processes, we may use these processes to ensure or to improve the efficiency and the performance in the supply network. So that is what we need to do. That is called supply chain optimization. And to make the correct use of it, we can utilize our business intelligence technique.